Welcome to the Conjecturing Podcast, a podcast where we talk about horror movies and ish-related content. I'm Laura, and I'll be your host tonight. And with me, we got Rob.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Greg.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
So how you guys doing tonight? You ready?
Doing good.
My body is screaming ready.
Is it screaming ready?
Screaming ready.
My throat's a little sore from screaming. I've been screaming so much. Yeah, it's very, very hoarse.
Yeah. So tonight we are reviewing Scream 6. We did our trailer reaction a few episodes ago, I think now. And I could not wait to get out there and see it. You guys know that. I think amongst the three of us, I am the biggest Scream franchise fan.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, it's number one for
There's
me.
no
Easily.
question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Would you say the Scream franchise is more important to you than the Halloween franchise?
Greg, I thought you were going to say your daughter. I thought you were going to say, is it more important than your daughter?
No.
That's question number two. That's
Okay.
question two.
Not more important than my child. No, you guys have asked me this in the past, and it's really hard for me to answer that. I don't know. They're both tied number one for different reasons. I can't answer that.
Nice.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, between the three of us, you are certainly like the number one fanatic
Yeah.
of the series.
Biggest fangirl of Scream for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I went out and saw this in theaters, I think the day after it came out on a Thursday. I was there that Friday. I know, Rob, you saw it in theaters within the first few days, right?
I saw it, I think the following Thursday, so maybe a week later. Yeah,
Okay.
I know it went on Thursday in theater. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Greg, how did you watch this movie?
Oh, I saw it in theaters as well.
Did you?
It was
Technically-
definitely in the theater.
Technically, it was from a theater source.
You wanna dig in deeper on that a little bit before we get into the review?
Oh, all right. Hopefully the FBI isn't listening here. I watched I'm not going to say pirated version, but I would say a version that was shared with me,
Yeah.
and it was not directly from a legitimate source. So, I'm in the theater, but it's one of those stand cameras that someone's holding, while you're watching the screen, and, you're listening to people react while it's going on. It was very, it was quite interesting to say the least. Hey, but look, I got the theater experience technically in there. Hey, when you were in the theater, you get to feel the vibe of the audience members to the, left and right of you and behind you and ahead of you. So I got the same experience. I even had popcorn when I watched it. So
Interesting.
Okay. How big was your screen?
about the same size. Like, imagine you're in the theater and you're the
Oh.
very, very back row at the wall. Now go back another like 50 feet behind the projection booth, and then go another 50 feet back there, and then like however big.
You're in the concession stand now.
I'm in the concessions. That was how small the screen was, but it worked.
All right.
That's funny.
That's what I thought.
I have to say, I watched Greg's feed also because I wanted to watch the game before we jumped on here, and so like I watched Greg's source. I mean, the video quality is pretty good. It's not that bad. I didn't hear that many people talking or eating popcorn or whatever. But I think the only problem I had was the constant pop-ups like throughout the movie, and it's not even like, I think there was one pop-up that actually will stop the movie and do a pop-up, and that's fine, and do an ad. But there was multiple times, Greg, where it was like a casino and like chips were flying on the screen as the movie's playing.
It was in the intro scene. Samara Weaving is trying to
Oh.
be serious on the phone, and then suddenly like a roulette wheel pops up out
Yeah.
of nowhere with like chips and like
Oh
like
my
fruit
God.
icons flying
Yeah.
all over the place, and it says jackpot while the movie's playing.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Okay.
And honestly, look, the next advertisement, Rob, the one where it actually stopped the movie, was not good to me, because it's the part where the guy who reveals himself to be the first, he's not the real killer, but he's a wannabe killer. He's in his apartment talking to a voice on the phone, which sounds like the Scream killer, and he's starting to talk about what it's like to kill his first victim. He's like, when the knife went in, it felt like, and then from there it's just a hard cut
Yeah.
to a guy like blending fruit in a juicer, and then like a audience clapping as loud as they
Yeah.
can,
That's pretty
and it
rough.
goes on for like
That kinda adds
25
up.
seconds. It was
A little bit.
insane.
Do you dare I ask for a 5-word synopsis that doesn't involve poker chips and fruit blending?
Oh man, there's a couple of ways I could go with this one. If I want to take it to negative,
Oh, and
I could-
spoilers, everybody.
I could
Obviously.
say,
Yeah.
I would say, who's the killer? Who cares?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right, but
all right, okay.
I'm gonna take I'm gonna draw out the negative. I'm gonna be positive here, okay? And I'm going to change it to Jenna Ortega steals the show. That's my five.
Okay. Yeah.
Description.
I like
Laura
it.
wants to kill me.
I know Laura
doesn't know
doesn't know what's
you want to
going
stab me?
I want to stab you not 38 times, but 45, because then you won't come back.
Interesting.
All right. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna kill Greg. I think we have to start here with the opening. What did you guys think of the cold open? Every Scream movie is known.
Wait, so I'm so sorry. First, like, me and Laura don't need to address our backgrounds because they're cool, but we gotta talk about Greg's background real fast. Like, what the hell? Why is there like a baby running away from Scream in your background, Greg?
This is some type of meme. This doesn't look familiar to you guys? It's a baby with an ice cream cone, like running away from something.
Right. But what does it have to do with Scream?
Look, guys, I didn't create this. I literally just found this on the interwebs.
And you just laughed when you saw it?
I did. It was the first thing that jumped out at me.
Mm-hmm. What's your interpretation?
My interpretation of this is watch out for Ghostface. He'll take your ice cream.
He'll take your
ice cream.
Oh,
ice cream.
You
get it? Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. See how I brought it back?
All right.
Okay. I'm regretting calling out Greg now to shout out his background.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, Laura. Okay, all right. What are you talking about? Opening, right? Opening.
Yeah.
Opening the movie?
So every Scream movie has like this awesome cold open. Most of them are fantastic. What did you guys think of this one?
I loved this
Who wants
one.
to start? Really?
I love this one. I loved it just for the fact of like the reveal of the killer, right away as you're watching it. I'm like, what the I started texting Laura as I was in the theater, being like, what the fuck, this opening, like, holy shit. Like the bar scene I thought was like kind of funny. She's like, on like a first date and shit, and then she gets dragged out to an alley. I thought it was like kind of cool. But to me, it was just the reveal of like he pulls off the mask right away. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, like what's happening right now? Mm-hmm. That whole thing just like made me love the opening of that. The kills too were pretty cool. But just the fact that they revealed or had somebody take off the mask right away, I thought was super cool. It's super original to me because it totally put me like off balance throughout the rest of the movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, kind of like no more rules, anything goes.
Because like I was like, what's gonna happen now? I mean, maybe the bar was like way too high, and then we got to the end, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, well, whatever. We'll talk about that later. But I liked the open. I thought the open was fucking cool.
Pissing me off. All right, Greg, what did you think of the? What did you think?
I thought it should have been something completely different. I didn't like the dialogue. First of all, that they had with each other. It just. So let me actually go to like the reveal, the Ghostface reveal of the guy, to me would have been fantastic if there's something about this movie. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, which I did like the movie, but there's a pretentiousness about how they present some of these scenes. Like when he took off his mask, they lingered on him too long, and the way that they showed that scene, it made it seem like they thought that it was more important and cool and unique and innovative than it actually was. If they would have just showed it, there's something about the way that it was directed. I would have loved it if it would have just been simpler and they wouldn't have made it such a big deal of it. When he took it off, actually before he took it off, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna reveal this guy, and it was gonna be so cool. But they spent way too much time. Their conversation with each other, geez, good lord, there's so much exposition, like in a lot of these scenes. Talking about, oh yeah, it's like this. I don't know. I don't want to focus on the negative too much. I just think that they should have done more or something different. Like, let me ask you guys, what was the point? If you could have a point, what was the point of having the opener this way? Because like I totally agree with you, Laura. Like the opening in the Scream movies is usually the biggest punch, the gut punch that you get.
Iconic. Yeah,
it's iconic. Scream 1 and 2 are the ones that come to mind first. Agree. It's like I remember watching those in the theater and feeling like groundbreaking gut punch. That wow, they really did something. And while this was interesting, I thought it was a little bit too pretentious to me, in a weird way. But what did you think, Laura?
Okay, I'm gonna show you. You probably can't see it. I have this like crazy list of notes. Oh, you can't see it. All right. This section
Yeah,
everything I love.
Hold it closer.
I don't want you to see it. I don't want you to see it. That really long.
Laura's like big dick energy.
Hell yeah. Okay, that long section was everything I loved about Scream 6. That tiny little section was everything I disliked. Oh, wow. The cold open is on that list.
Really? Both you guys?
For me, I get what they were doing, and I think it's interesting and cool. However, I can't not compare it to the ones that came before it. And although I do feel like, obviously I'm sure everyone agrees, like the opening was just so fantastic with Scream 1, and it's slowly gotten worse and worse and worse. However, there's always been something kind of okay, except for 3. That cold open was absolutely horrible, and I wish I could erase it from my memory. But like 4 did something kind of silly with all the different openings, and then 5, just Jenna Ortega, I think her whole scene was just so incredible, like the acting. So that made it better. And this one, it was just like, man, and what a waste of Samara Weaving. I mean, she's like such a great actress. And I get it. Same with Drew Barrymore. Yeah. We were all so shocked when she died right away, but I don't know. It didn't do it for me.
That's crazy. I can't believe, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't comparing it to anything, and maybe that's why I just like really dug it. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was, for me, like, 1 and 2 are probably the best, of course. But my thing is like 1 and 2 are, 1 is like brutal. Like it's so graphic. And 2 is pretty graphic too. So I feel like for this movie, like you can't go more graphic. Like you can't be more bloody. So like do something different. And I respected them being like, oh, let's do something different.
It's pretty graphic though. I mean,
it was, but I feel like that wasn't the point of the opening. Like Greg said, what was the point? The point was not how graphic it was. The point was the reveal. To reveal a killer within the first 5 minutes and a face and put a little story behind this. That was the point of the whole opening, was that.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was what I liked about it, was just like, I was not expecting it. Of course, like, why would you? Yeah. Why would you expect that? And that's what I liked about it, was just the unexpectedness of it in the beginning, to be like, holy shit. And then it kind of, like I said, it just sets me up to be like, what the hell else is going to happen now? Like, this is fucking awesome. I fucking loved it. I mean, honestly, I would put it above Scream 2.
You are high. You're smoking.
The way it made me feel,
he's smoking the shit.
the way it made me feel like in the theater was like this holy shit like moment, and that feeling was way better than Scream 2's like, oh shit, she got stabbed. You know what I mean? Like Scream 1, of course, that's like, I think might be a top 5 opening all time in cinema history, so it can't touch that. But I liked it better. The way it made me feel more excited in that moment.
Okay, if you rewind to the slot machine movie that I watched, right? when he kills her and he goes, "Now I see something red," everyone in the audience is laughing. And like, I feel like I don't want to laugh at a Scream opening. I want to be terrified.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean,
I see that, but we got used to laughing at a Scream opening when 4 came out. We were like, so I feel like that's now a rule. Like you may laugh, it may just be kind of silly.
One question I had was, why was he having dinner with his college professor?
Well, no, he was pretending to be someone else on like a blind dating app that she was talking. So she didn't know.
She didn't know who.
Oh, I see. So he was faking his.
See, if you were in the theater and like fully paying attention, you would have gotten all of these.
We just need to go to watch the movies together, so that I can like turn to you, Laura, and be like, "Why is he dating his college professor?"
Shut up, you idiot!
He's faking a personality.
You asked me questions during a Scream movie in theater, I would be like, "Shut the fuck up! Get out of here!"
You guys
just stab me. Just stab me.
You guys look over, I'm just like have a giant boner. I'm so excited for that scene. Yeah, I'm like, oh,
in your bag of popcorn.
My bag of popcorn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. I just want to say, like, anybody in the chat, anybody, in the comment section, send us an email. Like, what did you think of the opening? Did you like it? Did you not like it? And where would you rank it on the Scream openings? I mean, really, it's 1, 2, and 3, I think, are the top ones. But where would you put it? Well, not 3. Let me say 1 and 2, and then possibly this one might be 3 to 5. Some people, maybe, or something like that. But yeah, let us know where you put it in there, because I'm interested. I put it 2, so that's me though. But I'm an idiot, I guess. So where are we going next, Laura? What are we going to talk about next?
I want to know what you guys thought about characters, returning cast, both the new core 4, legacy. I mean, be brief, but overall, anyone you want to point out?
I love everybody in this movie.
Craig's like,
I love all the cast. Like, I love the core 4. They're like the main people from the one that just came out. Just rewatched Scream 5 2 coming into this because I wanted
Mm,
to like have it fresh in my memory, especially knowing the connection at the end.
hmm.
But I feel like in 5 they were pretty good in 5. I really didn't like Samantha's character in
Yes,
5 that much. She was really whiny and kind
exactly.
of annoying. This one
Yes.
I feel better about her.
Oh, she killed it.
She's
Sorry,
still, I know.
she killed
Geez,
it.
Laura, come on, you have a boner
I
now.
know.
Jeez, come on, Laura.
I am
What are
very
you doing?
excited.
I
Yeah, I have
know.
a boner.
So I felt better about her, and she was my weak link. She was the only one I really didn't like
Yep.
that much at 5. So going into this one, like she got better to me, whether it was dialogue or the plot or whatever. Jenna Ortega is just good in everything right now. She's my little Wednesday. I feel like she's like a little sister to me now. My 5-year-old son acts like her all day, so it's fucking hilarious. And then the other two, just they're the twins. I don't know what their names are, but man, their charisma as actors, like they don't have a lot of dialogue scenes in these movies, but every time they're on screen, their delivery is like fantastic.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a weird little like head gesture when she's telling that guy to stop looking at her in the subway, and she's like, "What are you looking at, fucker?" You know, it's like that. Or the guy, he like snaps at certain points, like when he's trying to say something. Those little tiny things, I love them because it makes it feel so real. So I
Hmm.
love the core four is great in this fucking movie. I love them.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, Greg, but I am piggybacking on this. You
Get on my
guys know
back, Laura. Get on my back.
I'm getting on your back.
Get on. All
You
right.
guys know I had a lot of problems with 5. It's no secret now. I like this movie so much more than 5. And yeah, I agree. Like Sam Carpenter, her as a final girl did not do it for me in 5.
Yeah.
She stepped it up. Her teetering between like, is she going to go psycho?
Yeah.
Is she going to continue to be final girl? Just, she really owned it. And I loved how they kind of had everyone in the movie hating her, so to speak, because I feel like that's kind of the consensus that people,
You were
it was
that.
like 50-50 after 5.
You were-
Some people
you-
loved her. And I was
You were
like,
that chick, Laura, that threw the drink on her, but from 5, right? You would have thrown a drink on her.
yeah, no, I went in with such low expectations, already thinking like, I don't like this final girl. How are these new installments of Scream going to be for me? And she completely changed my mind. The other 3, they were already fantastic. They stepped it up. And then, you know, obviously Hayden, Kirby, perfection. She can do no wrong. And I also thought that the small scenes that Gail was in, I was happy with them tying her in as like the only person from the OG. And I thought it was enough. And I thought it worked.
Yeah. All
What
right.
do you think, Greg?
All right, Greg, you're gonna slash us, Greg.
I'm not gonna slash anybody. I think everyone's fine, but for
Fine.
me,
I hate that word. I hate that word.
what totally sucks for me is that I think they're all sort of, and you guys hinted on this in Discord earlier, and I really agree. They're all sort of victim to having to repeat a lot of the same stuff that we saw in Scream 2. You know,
Yeah.
I honestly think, you know, like, so Sam to me from 5 in 5, I thought she had a lot of the same stuff that was really annoying me, just constantly sulking around, turning off the TVs and the cameras, and, you know, whenever reporters are trying to falsely accuse her of being a suspect. Gail coming out writing another damn book. I like everyone's acting is fine, but I don't want to see the same stuff rehashed over and over again. It just seems like, you know, going over the suspects in the friends group. It's to me, it's like a trite exercise, you know.
That was for the people who are diehard fans. You guys remember how worried I was when we did our trailer reaction about no Nev Campbell going to New York. I was worried about them not having the nostalgia. This movie had so many Easter eggs that I was so content.
Oh, I know you love Easter eggs.
I
you
mean,
love to find those eggs, paint them, put them in the pot, count them.
You're a fucking rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they like, my basket was full. I was so happy. It gave me the nostalgia I needed, and in like the best way. So that's crazy to me.
I feel like Greg, your problem is not really the actors, it's the writing, it's the dialogue.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, so the thing is we all know that the actors channel the direction and the writing that's given to them, right? So to me, they were all too cutesy bootsy in the whole movie, trying to be way too, like, I know this is part of like the vibe of Scream.
The meta-ness, yeah.
Everyone's meta, that's fine, but everyone was always trying to be sarcastic and funny, and it's like, you guys just chill out and be serious for a little bit. That's what brings me in, you know. It's not a comedy show the whole way. So, but here's the thing is, I do feel like that was
have you not seen the other Screams? I don't understand.
Look, this is just me like playing into what I like to see in just horror movies in general. I know it's Scream, you got to look at it in its own lens, but that was actually just the first part of the movie. I thought like the second half, I really, really loved it.
That's good. You mean when everybody stopped talking and it was just all action sequences and killing sequences?
Yeah.
It's not that. It's when you can feel like the passion and the connection with everybody. Like, so for example, like when they got together in the apartment, they were like the core fucking four. Yeah. Like at the dinner table. That was such a cool moment to me. Yeah. Like I really felt my heart kind of like warmed up or something. It felt really good. I just really loved that. And then I thought it got a little bit more intense. So the thing is for me is I really want to feel like the motivations and the passions. I want to feel it and I want to infer it, for God's sakes. Like, I don't want you to tell it to me. They were always constantly calling back, your father's a cop, I did this, you lived there, he saw him, he's blah. It's like, don't stop talking, let me infer it, like let me think about it, let it come from me, and then I can feel like your passion and where you are, and you're, you know, don't just like say what's going on. So it was split with me, the acting, but I thought overall everyone was great. Especially I thought the latter half of the movie was fantastic, and they jumped it up a couple notches.
I'm just cracking up because have you guys seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yeah,
of course.
You know that scene with Paul Rudd when he's trying to teach him how to surf on land, and he's like, get up, do less,
yeah,
do more. No, you got to get up. You're not doing enough. Do less. That is exactly
like,
what you sound like right now, Greg. You're like, no, you're not getting up, but do less. Like, let's talk about some of like the scenes that just like were incredible, especially sitting in the movie theater, how tense they were. The ladder scene.
Oh my God, that was brutal. That was great.
I did not breathe.
That was so done.
Breathe the whole time.
Yeah.
They were on there. I mean, just there was so much like intensity in this movie, and I knew there were going to be like a decent amount of kills, or at least that's what I heard. I don't really know if there were or not, and I knew there was going to be a lot of gore, but I, for some reason, was just floored by how intense some of these scenes were. And you're right. I mean, that's kind of when the talking stopped. So maybe, Greg, like that's when things got exciting for you. But like the ladder scene, the subway scene, which I know we saw it in the trailer. So, I mean, it was mostly in the trailer, which I always worry about. But I thought that the few seconds that were not in the trailer were so good that I was like, oh, damn, they did that well. They showed you one of the best scenes from the movie in the trailer, but we still got more, which is always kind of a complaint of mine.
And are you a little bit claustrophobic, Laura?
Totally.
Yeah. Like wasn't the subway scene, didn't it feel claustrophobic to you?
It's horrible. I live in Northern California, Bay Area, and we have BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit, and it is horrible riding BART. And I used to have to do it all the time for work. And yeah, it brought some ugly memories back, and I was horrified. Which is probably why it worked.
Is that what BART stands for?
You thought it stood for like Bart Simpson?
I thought it was something I do with Bart Simpson.
What? You thought a public transportation service was named
sponsored by the Simpsons?
I don't know. That's the one thing I thought it was, like Bart Simpson. Yeah, I don't know. Never
that's hilarious.
Okay, all right. Yeah, the subway scene is might be like one of my favorite sequences in the movie. Yeah. The lighting was so fucking cool, the way that they would do like the dark, and then you couldn't see anything, and then light back up and he's closer and shit. We've seen that in other horror movies, and it's kind of an easy trope to do, but it was just so well done. The lighting in it was super, super cool. I love that sequence. Yeah
and for me it was, all of the I was gonna say all of the people dressed up through all of this movie. I mean, you guys, we saw everybody, right? We saw Freddie, Jason, Michael. We saw Wednesday. We actually saw Samara Weaving's character from Ready or Not. I just love that they did that. I thought that was cool.
Did you guys see the big like guy dude that was dressed like Babadook? He was the one where I was like, oh my God, that's fucking creepy. He was like this giant guy with like a white face and a top hat.
Totally. Yeah. I love that.
He was committed to the costume.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Greg? Sorry.
I want to go back to the ladder scene. Like that was so cool. So here's the thing is when they subvert your expectations, I love I love that because you feel like you can finally just sit back and watch something that's new and innovative. When the last girl was crawling across the gap on the ladder, in my mind, I thought, okay, what's going to happen is Ghostface is just going to take the ladder and like toss it out the window and she's going to fall. And in my mind, I was thinking, well, that would be stupid because she can just hold on to the ladder and her friends can hold on to their end and she would be saved. And they're going to do this all wrong. But instead, Ghostface was actually smart and he tried to twist it, like throw torque into it so that she would fall off, because he probably realized if he had tossed the ladder out the ledge of the window, her friends would save her. So instead, he tried to like twist her off and he did it. And it was just a brutal kill. The way that it was shot, it seemed so realistic. And I thought that was one of the few moments where they made use of like the New York setting, and in addition to the subway, like I thought there could have been more stuff. Like, we had the 7-Eleven, but I wanted to see more alleys and streets. But the whole like sort of like high rise or mid rise apartment scene with the ladder was great.
My only thing I had a question, was it a retractable ladder, or did that guy have like a 10-foot ladder in his small ass apartment?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it probably is retractable. Probably
retractable. Those slide apart.
Because that was my only thing in the moment. It took me out a bit to being like, wait, how did this fucking guy get like this 10-foot ladder inside his tiny ass fucking studio apartment? I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. But that was the only thing. But scene was cool though. Scene was cool.
The one that I really thought that could have been improved was with Gale Weathers. When Ghostface, broke into her house and started chasing her around. Here's the thing is, for once I would love to see a chase scene in like a slasher that didn't involve this, anxiety riddled, fast paced, scary music. It was so, in that moment, it seemed very cookie cutter. Like she saw him, the music turned on, and then the chase went. I was like, we've already seen this several times. You know what I want to see for once is like silence, and this like heart pounding in the moment focus and the fear of you getting away from the killer. Let me ask you guys, like, I know the answer is probably gonna be no, but have you ever been chased by a killer before?
No.
No. Let me tell you this. I have.
What?
Okay. Yeah. It was, I've been chased by a pit bull.
Oh, okay.
And he was clearly trying to kill me. And when you're being chased by a dog, it's like the scary, and like it's an aggressive breed, traditionally.
Did it have a Ghostface mask on?
That would have been funny.
That would have been sweet. Yeah.
The thing is, let me tell you something. In that moment, the focus and the fear of that moment is so scary, and it's real and it's quiet. Because all you want to do is survive, and you're focused. You feel this like blackness go around your vision, and it like zones in on what you have to do, and it's run away. Right? There's no scary music. There's no crashing. Also, and I feel like that's never depicted in scary movies. And I thought that would have been a great moment to kind of like change the tone of the movie, instead of just like the fourth time Ghostface is coming out and blasting this music, just like narrow it. And look, it's Gale Weathers. It's one of the most important, iconic characters, and spoiler alert, deaths in the series. Make it bring the gravity back. So that was the only thing that I thought they really should have changed it up in some way. But other than that, all of the crazy, all the stuff that you guys mentioned was great.
She didn't die though. She lived.
She didn't die. She lived.
She lived, Greg. Greg, did you like watch this movie?
You like did not pay attention to this movie. It's crazy.
You're too busy paying the details of all these little tiny things, Greg, and you missed.
She lived. They said it at the end. They're like, yeah, she's at the hospital. She's gonna live as well.
Oh, maybe I checked out.
Even in the end, they were like, oh, she has a heartbeat. We got a heartbeat or whatever. This is a pulse.
But also,
Greg was plugging his ears. He didn't want to hear anything.
How did you miss what was one of my likes on my list? One of my favorite parts is the fact that for once, 6 movies in, she fucking star 69 his ass. That was incredible.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, in the closet.
So
that was pretty cool. Yeah,
we've literally never seen that. It was great.
She was definitely smart, and like I'm glad that she had a gun. It would be too picky to say, hey, why don't you have it on you? She had to go and retrieve it. That was fine. So she was definitely smarter.
Yeah,
I have to admit, she had her moments there, so that was pretty cool.
A good sequence, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, or what about when they redid the scene of her getting punched? But I love that it was Jenna Ortega's
Jenna
character
Ortega
that
punch,
did
yeah,
it.
Oh, yeah,
Was
that was
fantastic.
that's a nice callback. I gotta
Yeah,
agree. That was good. Yeah.
All right, so we go into the end now. We're talking about the ending and the
Who
reveal.
who wants to
Just don't call
go?
on me. Apparently, I don't know shit about this movie. I've already like said like 3 wrong things. Look, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Bad
Figures know
memory.
what
It's been a
happens.
week since I've seen it, and I've already
Yeah.
missed some key plot points. So
Yeah,
I have to start watching them like right before we record now or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, are we talking about the end sequence first, Laura? Are we talking about the reveal? What are we?
Whatever your heart tells you.
Your heart, whatever your heart
I
desires.
want to know what you guys think overall.
I mean, it's pretty much, yeah. I mean, the sequence itself is super cool. We already talked about Subway is awesome. The ladder sequence is awesome. The Quickie Mart, whatever the fuck, going back to The Simpsons, the Quickie Mart scene in there was cool. I know Laura didn't like the shotgun in the trailer. I thought it was fucking cool seeing him hold the shotgun.
No, it worked. It totally worked.
I thought it was cool.
Everything I said in the trailer reaction, like, fuck me. That wasn't none of it.
Laura didn't know what she was talking about.
Yeah. Wrong.
Yeah. So everything is like building towards this finale. You got him in this kill box and fucking all these props and shit. So I fucking loved it. I thought it was fucking cool. All the sequences, all the action. Samantha like finally like taking like her dad's like knife and shit after his like spirit, what, not even a spirit, it's not a ghost, it's in her mind, right? You know, right. Telling her to like clear the room yourself, get the weapon, and she takes it. Like that shit is fucking cool. That shit is fucking cool. And then of course you get to the end where she actually like puts on the suit. I was like, holy fuck, this is fucking awesome. This is like Batman now. She's like a superhero.
All right.
You know? So I loved all of that fucking shit. So I love the whole ending sequence. We could talk about the reveal maybe after, but what did you guys think of like the end sequence?
I loved it.
Loved it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, me too. The action was fantastic. There was that one.
We all agree.
There was that one shot where like the synchronized like double knife blade wipe.
Yes,
I was about to jump out of my chair. I was like, oh, that brought me way back in.
That was fucking cool.
That's why I picked my background, because that is my most favorite part of this movie was the double perfectly in unison. So good.
It brought me back to life.
It was so mirror image. It totally did. In theaters, I lost my shit.
Because that's the first reveal of like, oh shit, there's 2. Even though you kind of suspect there's more than 1, but that's the first reveal. And then they did it at the exact same time. It was like
I knew there was more than 2 pretty quickly into the end sequence because there were so many of them, and if you pay attention, you're like,
they
wait a
couldn't be there.
There's like,
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about then the reveal.
All right.
Let's talk about the reveal. What did you guys think of the reveal? I don't know.
I'm gonna go last. Yeah.
You're gonna go last?
Yeah.
You wanna go first, Greg? You wanna go first?
Yeah, I thought it was a good reveal. Like, what's the detective's name? Bailey or
Detective Bailey. Mm-hmm.
So I really thought he was losing me half the way through the movie, because in the beginning of the film, he's the authority. He's the one that comes in and lays down the law and says, I'm from like the law enforcement. Like, you have to do what I say. He's pretty much laying down the rules. Halfway through, he's following the kids around, and he just seems so ineffectual and lame. So I thought it was so cool that he would come back and be like, I'm the one orchestrating this whole thing. I thought that was actually, it got me. You know what's funny is so Laura, you were talking about, you'd already seen the movie and you were messaging us in Discord, and I thought for some reason that they would have brought what's his face, Stu Macher back. I don't know why. It would seem totally random and nonsensical, but I was like, the fact that you love this movie so much, I thought he was going to be the one. He had nothing to do with any of this. So like this reveal was really cool. And then when he kind of like stated his reasons, okay, there's a little bit of a leap about how they didn't know that their roommates' real identities were, but again, at this point you're punting all of that stuff and just going, okay, I'm gonna run with it. So yeah, I mean, is this the first time there's been 3?
Yeah, first time 3.
Yeah. Shoot, that was really cool.
So how come in your in your 5-word synopsis, you were like, who's the killer, who cares? I thought you were going to say you hated the reveal.
No, because I mean, like, most of the movie to me was characterized by that, because they're just, I felt like they were just regurgitating a lot of the old Scream stuff, and the fact that like Sam, she didn't pull me in to really care about her. I didn't care about who the killer was. It didn't really matter. But when they finally showed it, I thought like it was a good enough twist. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. So
yeah.
I don't know. For me, like it worked and it didn't work for me. Like, I think I was in Greg's camp. Like, I think maybe I built it up too much in my head of what it was going to be. It might be Stu. It might be this. It might be that. Might be Samantha at the end. Like she has dual personalities, like in Bloody
Kirby.
Valentine.
I
Bloody
thought it was going to
Valentine,
be Kirby.
It could be Kirby. There's like so many
Yeah.
things. And then when they kind of did it, I was kind of like, oh, okay, all right, like it makes sense. My only like bad thing about it is like the kid, the brother they picked, he looks just like fucking the actor from Five. They look very similar.
Don't you dare. Don't you
They
fucking
do.
Well, first of all, they're brothers, so
I know
good
exactly.
casting.
I know exactly.
But no.
But my
Jack
thing,
Quaid? No.
similar enough to where it made me already think of him instantly being like, who the fuck is this kid? And then when they started getting calls from Richie, I was like, he looks just like this kid. I'm like, that's weird. But then in my head, I'm like, they wouldn't do that, right? It's too obvious, right? And then they do it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess so. And that's my negative after watching Five again, is in Five they do the same exact thing. Through all of Five, the love interest is so like beaten into you as like it's probably the love interest, and you're like, it can't be, right? They've laid too much groundwork that it can't be him, right? And then when it's him, I guess it's a twist because they've been saying it the whole time it can't be him. And they did the same thing in this almost. Like they put the kid in there and I think he looks like him. And then, they're like laying it on like, I think it's you. You're a newbie. How did you even get here? And then eventually they're like, oh no, it can't be him. Like, why would, in your mind, you're like, it wouldn't be him, right? Why would they do that? And then they do it again though. So that's my only negative to 5 and 6 now is they've done it twice. They've made it be the obvious person, because you're thinking in your mind, well, it can't be the obvious one, right? They got to be more creative than that. But the 2 in a row is like, maybe they're just not. Maybe these aren't good twists then. I don't know. That was my only thought afterwards was like, oh, okay. The daughter, I didn't know, of course. I didn't know that one at all.
But the dad.
Yeah, I thought she was legit dead. Like,
yeah, the dad one is one where like I had kind of suspicion being like maybe. But like I said, the kid one was just so obvious to me. But I don't think I ever knew like why. It's never the why. I always usually kind of can know maybe the who, but the why I don't know. So the thing about them being family, I was like, oh, I didn't fucking think about that at all. That's fucking pretty cool. So that was the part where I'm like, okay, I do like the ending of the why, but the who, I'm kind of like, I don't know about that much. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, a lot of what you said was kind of lost on me, but I get some of it. I mean, I also suspected Detective Bailey a little bit just because we've seen so many of these movies, we kind of know the rules and like, why is he hanging around? Like, it's always someone that's hanging around. It's never
of course,
Joe Schmo that's only in like scene 2 or whatever. But there are 2 reasons why, the main reasons of many actually, why this ending was so awesome for me. And one is that I was bummed that Sydney wasn't in this movie. And I was pleasantly surprised watching the movie how I didn't actually notice. Like they were able to make it still feel like a Scream movie. Yeah. And even though they did her dirty in real life, I thought that what they did for her character with just the one line from Gail, like, you know what, she wants to go be safe. We got to let her do that and let her have a happy ending. I was so happy with that and content that I just kind of put her out of my mind. So I didn't want the ending to have anything to do with Sydney or Sydney's storyline. And it didn't.
Oh, it didn't? No.
It didn't. So I was really happy about that because then I would have been pissed why wasn't she in this movie?
Yeah.
I would have been, if it ended up being like Stu, I would have been pissed.
I would have loved
have Stu
I would have loved
without
it
Sydney.
I would have loved it if it was Sydney. Sydney was the killer. That'd be fucking awesome.
Oh, that would,
oh my God.
You're right. That would have been absolute. But the other reason why I loved it was because I didn't really like Scream 5. But one of the things that I loved the best about it was I loved Richie. I thought he was a great killer. I thought Jack Quaid was an incredible actor. And so then to have there be 3 killers and it's his psycho family, they're just all fucking psycho cleaning the knives at the same time. And the dad is just like, yeah, like we're out to get vengeance. I mean, that totally worked on me. Now, the Detective Bailey guy, I don't know, like his acting throughout the whole thing was whatever. I didn't really think much of it. As the killer, it was half of it. He was like so kooky. I was into it. And then the other half, just like watching this old guy kind of run around, like belly, like kind of hanging over his belt a little bit. I'm just thinking, this is kind of weird, right? Like obviously his kids are doing the real dirty work, but so yeah, I mean, that was a little whatever, but I also loved Quinn because I'll tell you from Scream 4, as you know, Jill, I was not team Jill. That did not work for me at all. But Quinn she was the Jill I always wanted, man. She was so perfect as like a psycho killer.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
She's got like that weird personality like that where it's believable. It's almost like it kind of reminded me of Stu a little bit in his own way.
And then the very end, when, you know, Ethan comes back for a split second and all of a sudden, huge Easter egg, the TV gets put on him lands on him to seal the deal. And then the fact that it's Kirby who does it. And then she's like, oh, I saw that in a movie somewhere. Oh, chef's fucking
that was
kiss.
Cool. That was cool.
Perfect.
That was pretty cool. So what are we doing lastly here, Laura? Are we talking about what we think for Scream 7?
Yeah, if you have it.
I mean,
yeah.
I think there's two that come to mind. I mean, I don't know if Stu Macher's going to come back. I don't know. I think
he is. That's my theory.
At some point, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get Sydney back. They're going to make up and be like, here, take all the fucking money. We can't make this without you now. But I mean, just going from what I've seen so far from 5 and 6, which is starting to become like one continuous movie now, one continuous storyline, because you're connecting 5 and 6 so much that I feel like 7 then they would have laid work for things in 6 to set up 7. I think it's either going to be the boyfriend now, Sam, whatever the guy's name was. I know him from Arrow. He was in the show Arrow. He was good on that show. But I think it might be him. And if they're following the tropes they've done so far, you know, the 2022 one they made was more or less based on the original Scream, with being the boyfriend. Scream, 6 they just did is based on Scream 2. It's like family. Then they're gonna go Scream 3 with Scream 7. It's gonna be Roman. It's gonna be a single guy doing this himself. I think it's gonna be the boyfriend. I think they're setting it up. I just don't think he's just not going to come back. And I think what of a twist would that be? You're already going to feel safe being like, oh, he was nothing in Scream 6. So I think when the twist happens that it's the boyfriend this whole time, that maybe he was the mastermind to fucking everything. I don't know, but it would be more shocking if that happens. My only other one was it's going to be Detective Bailey coming back because they didn't shoot him in the head.
Oh, interesting.
They stabbed him in the eye. I don't know if that is
which is basically like a poke in the eye.
I mean, could he just come back with an eye patch, like fucking Walking Dead style?
Oh god! Oh my god!
Like the governor?
I don't know. Yeah,
no.
that was my only thing. Was like, oh, they didn't shoot him in the head, and I was like, I could see like Scream 7, like opening scene is like him hobbling out, and he picks up the mask off the ground and shit, and then we're off to the races with him being alive. So I don't know, but those are the only two people I thought of immediately. What about you, Laura?
I think it's going to be Stu. I think they're going to get Sydney back because it makes sense for the 7 to be the last one.
Yeah.
Like they had the first 3 and then they
trilogies.
had 4.
They're doing a trilogy.
Yeah, and now they're doing a second trilogy, and I think it has to come full circle. And if this is truly going to be the last Scream movie, it's got to go back to the OG, which is Nev coming back and Stu being the single killer. That's my guess.
Oh, being the killer
Slash
just by himself?
Hope.
That's it? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think. I mean,
and I
think
that
does it be him and a partner.
No, because I think it's going to be him going head to head with Sam. Sam being so connected to Billy and how connected Billy and Stu were, and they're going to go head to head.
Versus Stu. Wow.
Yeah.
She does like cool. She does like a ghost moment, and like Billy's like body comes out, and like they start fighting and shit. Is that too much?
Hey.
Just go. Would that surprise you in the theater, Greg?
Dude, he'd be the real ghost face.
Oh my god, you guys are awful.
The actual ghost.
That's what I actually want to happen in Scream 7. Yeah.
Do you? Yeah. What do you have, Greg? Do you have any theories?
Well, here's the thing: is like, okay, like this has been truly enjoyable, Laura. Like watching you kind of like come alive with all of these references, like harking back, like you are clearly on an elevated level. Like you're ready to get into this pod, ready to talk about. I love it. For me, I really appreciate when movies do this too. Like the only qualm I have is when I feel like it requires that you've seen previous movies for context. Like if I'm brand new to the franchise, I don't know that a lot of this stuff in this movie makes sense. So I'm going to like go away from what you guys are predicting. And I wish that they would just start over, like do like a hard reset. Someone we don't know. Yeah. I mean, like
wait,
how
the
many
whole
movies?
Cast, or are you talking about just the killer?
Everything.
Holy shit.
Greg, that's called I just hope a new great horror movie comes out.
No. It's
like what?
It's
Why do you
still
have to tie it to
Ghostface,
Scream?
but maybe it's a different person because
It's called Cream now. It's Cream.
Oh God,
7 Cream.
we need to end this. Wrap it up.
Listen, how quickly did it? How many movies did it take the Halloween franchise to start over? Like they rebooted it like 3 times. Okay, I feel like it would be so cool, and I don't know. Have they actually stated that the next one's going to be the last? I don't think that's been like fully confirmed.
No,
it's
but
just
it's
speculation.
that's just kind of assumption.
Yeah, here's the thing: is like I would rather have a total do-over at this point. Like when the movie Prey came out and they like started over, they actually went backwards from the whole Predator series. They thought it's been going to another planets. It's been too much now. I thought that was a great reboot to start back when no one had even heard of this thing.
You want to see Baby Billy? Is that what you want to see? Billy as a kid, like killing people as a baby.
I'm not against it.
It's like a dark Rugrats.
Oh my God, this is getting. I'm not down for this
All right. Well,
conversation.
I think number 7 is a reboot from the beginning, starting over.
Oh God,
that's what I want to see.
Greg, I'm telling you right now, my ending of Billy coming in as like a spirit and shit and taking over people's bodies is more realistic than them rebooting now after making $150 million.
Especially if you saw Scream 3, you know that Sydney starts seeing the ghost of her mom.
Yeah.
So and then at one point, like physically, it's like a woman in a sheet. So yeah, I think that kind of adds up.
Right. Yeah. Same thing in the comments. Let us know what you think. Scream 7, is it going to be a complete reboot with babies, or is it going to be is it going to be spirits like I want, or Laura's just like pretty standard movie? I guess I don't know. Let us know what you think. Is that it, Laura? Is that it for the episode? Did we hit all your plot points? We got all your stuff.
We did.
To talk about?
Yep.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice. All right,
Actually, there's a lot more, but we don't have all night.
Oh my
so
God, I know.
We got to wrap it up. Yeah, I know. I had a long list. So do you guys want to rate this, or do you think we pretty much got the gist with our...
Oh yeah, let's rate it. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about
rate it.
Let's do how many baby Billies? How many baby Billies do we want to rate this?
Okay. I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, come on, Laura. What are you gonna rate it? How many baby Billies are you giving it?
I'm giving this 4.75 baby Billies.
Almost. What's the 0.3?
You're doing a 3/4 a baby.
Yes.
You're gonna slash that baby up.
List the parts. Yeah.
You're gonna cut them up. Oh,
It?
Laura,
No,
don't do that to a baby, Laura. Come on.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Oh, so what are you gonna do? What's a quarter of a baby? What do you got? It's just
I'm
diaper?
not answering that. Yes, the diaper. There you go. Perfect. Yes, love
the
it.
diaper. Okay.
Laura was like thinking, like, what limb do we have to lose from a baby? So
Nope. I'm not gonna say that on the internet. Nope.
Wow, that's funny. What about you, Greg? Where are you at in this movie?
Yeah, this movie was good enough for me. They pulled me back the second half. I actually understood a little bit better Sam's plight by the end of the movie, which thank God. If I didn't really like feel where she was coming from the whole way, it would have lost me. So it was actually good. Love the action. I'm gonna give it like a 3.25. Okay. Maybe it's like a baby rattle or something. Billy's rattle that he used to beat other babies with. His little passy.
Yeah, there you go.
Has a little shiv on one side and shit. Yeah. Man, I think I'm like right in between you guys. I think so. Like, man, Laura, I was surprised you put it so high, hating the fucking opening.
I didn't hate the opening. I just was like, it wasn't my favorite.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Man, I would probably say solid.
Laura
4.
wanted to see a threesome in this movie. Sorry.
I would say a 4. I would say a solid 4.
Nice.
For
nice.
Me. 4 baby Billies there, all with their diapers on. Yeah.
All with their parts intact.
Yeah, I'm not cutting up any babies like Laura. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Awesome. Well, I'm so happy that this was all favorable. What are you owing over there? Oh.
No, I'm just saying, cool. We got it. We did it. We did it. Yeah. Anybody in the comments too? Let us know what your ratings are for this movie. How many baby Billies would you give it? Or you don't cut up a baby like Laura. Yeah. Let us know.
All right. Awesome. Rob, do you want to close this out so I don't fuck it up again?
Nope. Don't got the docket open. Sorry, Laura.
Oh shit. All right. I'm going to do this. I don't usually do this, so sorry. But hey, follow and contact us. You can shout out movie picks or ideas for us by contacting. See, this is why I don't do this. Us by email at conjecturingpod@gmail.com, on Instagram and TikTok at conjecturingpod, or on our website, theconjecturing.com.
You doing, Greg?
What?
Greg's petting the baby.
Look how my elbow
You're
perfectly
doing
lines up
that
with the
so
contour.
perfectly. Yeah.
That's weird,
Damn,
man.
that's pretty
really
good. Hey, if you like our show and want more of our ish, check out our horror morning show, Wake and Steak, at streamlounge.io. We like to watch mostly B-rated or older good movies, so we can make jokes right on through it. So we're there most Fridays, 9 a.m. Pacific or 12 p.m. Eastern. And lastly, subscribe, rate, review our podcast everywhere you listen. And don't forget to check out all the other great shows on the Slash and Cast podcast network. So that's it for
you guys,
Scream 6.
This is the core four, us three and the baby here.
Baby. I like it.
Fourth. Okay, all right.
You name her Billy. Name her Billy.
Billy.
Oh, we did it. All right. Well, I've been your host tonight, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
And
peace out. Rob here.
Yep.
And Greg.
Yep, exactly. We do this all the time.
My name hasn't changed. All right.
All right. Peace out. Good night.
Hey guys, have a good one.